Alrighty guys, so how's it going today? So here's your update. It's been a little while since I've made a video. Well, it hasn't really been much going on. We did get a little bit of snow. I think we got more than what they were thinking. If you guys saw my Instagram picture, I don't know how many of you follow me on Instagram. I don't really post on Instagram all that much. I think it's been a couple of months since I last posted on there, but I'm not really the picture type of person anyway. I take pictures, but you would have seen Big Red plowing snow last night. We had about 3 inches, I think a little closer to 4. They were saying 3 inches, but I think we got closer to 4. And of course they don't know what the hell they're talking about, so they said, oh, it's going to be over by so-and-so time, you know, during the night, you know, and it lets up and then quits for a little bit, and then, you know, kind of does that on and off, and then in the morning when I got up, it's snowing, and it's kind of still snowing now. Now, they're saying that there's supposed to be a little round that was supposed to come around 11 o'clock. Well, it's a little after 11 o'clock now, but they said after that, that should be the end of it. Well, we'll see, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So again, I think I'm going to have to plow. I think this time we only got about 2 inches, but the road grader made a mess at the end of the driveway, so I'm just going to blade it all and be done with it. I plowed everything last night. It was warmer out last night, so I was able to just basically, you know, keep going. You know, I didn't have to take breaks because it wasn't freaking minus out. You know, it was pretty warm. Of course, it's a little cooler today, so I'm going to have to wear the overalls. I don't have them on right now, but I don't like putting them on for just making videos because it's kind of useless. But it slows me down. But I'm probably going to plow again. So, yeah. And they just got done plowing all the roads. I've plowed the farm road last night. I imagine they probably went over it again, because there is now another, like, 2 inches of snow on top of that. So we got more snow than what they were thinking. So, I think we did. Even if you look at this tree stump, you maybe can't even tell. There's more than 3 inches there. Even where I had last night, I'd gotten, because I had made a video last night, but it ended up being too long and I didn't want to upload it. But I actually dug a little bit of that snow away and I put my tape measure on it, and it was reading about 3 inches. And now that little spot that I dug out is filled back in again. And then some. So, yeah, I guess I'll have to blade again, but this stuff is so damn light that you don't even know that you're pushing it. The only time you know you're pushing it is when you get into an old pile of snow, or your blade starts to dig into the ground. Then you start feeling it. But since there's really hasn't been a lot of snow this past winter, and then we've had kind of a warm spell too, wherever I plowed, you know, there's such a thin layer of snow there now that kind of just melts. You know, because I had areas of grass starting to show because it was melting so good. Because the warmest day I think we had about a week ago, maybe not even a week ago, was about 35 degrees. So it got pretty warm here. You don't think 35 degrees is much. Well, you know, things will start to melt once you get above 32 degrees. So everything starts to melt once you get above that point. So anything below that, then it's just going to freeze. But I don't know. But that's the issue is, we haven't had any real snow, you know, really this year. I don't think I'm going to be able to go out in the field anymore like I want to, because it's snowing pretty good, and there was a slight breeze. There's another breeze again today, so the problem with that is that you get a lot of drifting and stuff, you know, and surprisingly we didn't get a lot of drifting, but I think out in the field it did more drifting there because it's opened. Here in town they're not opened, and they got trees and buildings slowing the wind down. So, you know, it doesn't really matter here in town, but yeah. So it kind of sucks. One, because, you know, I bladed last night because it needed it. But they were also calling and saying that, you know, this is going to be the end of it. Well, yeah, there's another, what, 2 inches on the fucking ground? I don't know how the blade will do on the wheeler. I'll find out. But I'm going to have to blade the driveway because I imagine there's probably about 6 to 8 inches there, I imagine. But yeah. And then they had some kind of a party or something going on at the school there. So when I started plowing, it was around 6 o'clock. I started plowing. All the cars decided they were going to fucking leave. So they were slowing me down because you got to wait for them to pass. So, but whatever. Eventually, it slowed down enough to where I could, you know, get going again. But of course, some have a steering issue. Which, I mean, I guess it is what it is. I guess they somehow find my wheeler entertaining, even though I've done this for about almost 9 years now. They ought to know what a blade is on a wheeler. So what's your reason for staring? I don't know. One guy even drove out of the school driveway there with his window rolled down, blocking that part of the road, and he's just staring back at me. So I don't know if I thought he was going to yell at me, because they're pretty good at yelling at me. But he didn't say anything. He didn't get out. I didn't hear no yelling. I guess he was just seeing what I was doing. I guess he thought it was entertaining. I don't know. But if you've been here for the same amount of years I've been here, it's nothing new. It's nothing new for me. I've done this for for almost 9 years now, and blading's never going to change. So, but it is what it is. So yeah, cleaned the driveway, cleaned the mailbox, cleaned here last night, and I gotta go over it again. I was debating on maybe just leaving it until today, but I don't know. Now you have another 2 inches on top of that. It might have been made it a little harder to move it. I don't know. There would have been more there to move. So, and when you have a blade, especially on a four-wheeler, you have to go out every now and then. Like, if you were to get a storm for 3 days straight in a row, and they're talking like an inch an hour or something, you're going to have to go out every couple hours, every 3 to 4 hours. Because if you let it build up, then it's just too damn much. It's harder on the wheeler. So, but this kind of snow that we're getting it's pretty good. Like I said, you don't even know you're pushing it. So, I don't mind this kind of snow as long as we don't get a hell of a lot of it. I just don't like the wet, heavy stuff, which I imagine nobody likes that kind of stuff. Might be okay if you got a snow blower or a front end loader, or a bobcat or something that, they don't even know that they're pushing wet stuff. So, four-wheeler unfortunately can feel that, and it wears everything out all that much quicker. There's a lot of slop and play in the blade now. I think it's mostly in the mount, in the mount part of the blade. So I imagine that'll probably be shot before long. And you probably still can buy that part and just replace it. Because I don't know, but I don't think I'm going to bother. Once I get a snowblower, I doubt I'll be using the blade all that much anymore. The blade is nice for the light stuff. I still may use the blade on the four-wheeler. It's just that, for stuff like this, it's okay, but I don't want to deal with it when I don't want to use it when there's wet, heavy shit. It just wears everything out and stresses out the wheeler. But I did have to put had to put some weight on the back because the driveway was icy. It froze, something, whatever, there was a thin layer, I guess, of water or moisture on the driveway, and then it got cold, and then that turned to ice, and then of course the snow fell on top of that. Well, when you try to plow with no weight, you just sit there and spin basically. So I did put that cargo rack thing on, and I put one bucket of sand on the back. I didn't put both of them. I found that actually one is decent. I haven't been in any extreme conditions yet to really put it to the test, but for what we have right now, one bucket's doing pretty good. I've had no trouble climbing up hills. Of course, it does make the tires cocked a little bit, so you know that you're putting weight on them. So I don't really think I need the 2 pails. I think 1 pail is more than enough, but I do have a second pail if I do need more, but so far one's been doing pretty good. But I took the pail out right now because I don't want the 4-wheeler to hold the weight all the time. Because so I know that we're not going to get snow for a while, I'm going to take all my plow stuff off. Because I'm not going to carry the plow all winter. That's what I did those. So that's what I did for a while. And I think you just wear out the front end all the quicker. You know, you're not plowing snow. They're not calling for any snow for quite a while, so why carry the damn plow around, you know? So I'm just going to, once I know that we're not going to get any snow for a week or two, I'm just going to take it off. And then when we need it, I'll put it back on. Because it's a quick attach, so it's not that big of a deal. Putting the weights on, again, is not a big deal. The pails are heavy, but putting the cargo rack thing on, it's not the worst thing in the world. But it works. I'm happy with that. I'm pretty pleased with it. It seems to be doing the job. I was a little worried about maybe the heat from the exhaust melting the pail, but because I got the pail right in the center of the wheeler, because I want all the weight to be right in the center, so it's, you know, maximizing its weight. I just thought maybe the heat from the exhaust would hit it. Well, it doesn't really even. The pail doesn't really even get warm. Snow won't stick to it, so I know the heat is hitting it, but it's not like melting. I never checked it to see how warm the pail was, but it never melted. And I plowed my whole entire yard and everything. I imagine I was out there for a good hour and a half. And pail never melted. So I'm not going to worry about it. If it was a direct fire of the exhaust, then probably be a little bit more concerned then. But other than that, I ain't going to worry about it. And of course, I didn't have any of my tie-down straps ready to go. Forgot to get one ready before I had to put them on, so I ended up having to use rubber straps, which I guess worked fine. The pail didn't slide around or anything, got it nice and tight, but another for a strap, tie-down strap, but whatever. Whatever, it'll work. So yeah, so far I'm happy with the setup. It's working. I probably wouldn't have even had to use the weights if it wasn't for the icy driveway. Now, I know a lot of guys are going to be like, oh, well, it would help if you would get some damn good tires put on. Well, I got good tires. I got them. I'm getting 2 more, hopefully next month, and that's for the fronts. I already got the rears. I just don't have them on yet. I'm not going to put them on until probably spring, unless I have a blowout, but I'm just going to use these original ones for this year. And then when spring hits, I'm going to take them over to the repair shop, and they can swap them around, and then Big Red will have some new tires put on. So, yeah. But, yeah, so I'll get a couple of tires next month, and then we're done. Then I got to decide if I'm going to buy a new seat for Big Red or not, because that seat's, the crack is slowly getting bigger. Every time you sit on it, it seems to just open a wee bit more. So I know it's not going to last. I'm not even sure. I may get through the winter with it, but through the summer, unlikely. So, and the seat's expensive. I think that was like $350. And that's not including shipping. So, imagine the shipping would be like another $20. So, Well, it is what it is. We'll do one thing at a time. So, I did, another thing I'm going to talk about here is I did pick up a little summer project, or I bought it. It cost me some money. It cost me, the grand total was right around $50. It's just going to be a little experiment that I'm going to try. Well, I know a little how to work, but it's going to be a summer thing. It's not going to be a winter thing, but I got it now because they were having, you know, it's just, you got a good price on the stuff, so I figured why not. I was going to get a couple of fire sticks, or at least one, but the guy that jailbreaks them is, because he's actually my sister's boyfriend's brother, I guess, and he jailbreaks them things, and I'm having a hard time getting one out of him. So he says that they're time consuming to do, but he said he already had some in stock that were already jailbroken, so he's somehow having trouble getting one sent my way. So I've been kind of waiting and waiting and waiting, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and say, fuck it, I'm not going to bother. Because I wanted to try it, but as of right now, he's having a hard time, you know, getting one going. So I'm just going to say probably fuck it and move on to something else. We have Hula and Netflix, and then we still have our, you know, our company too, but we did drop their bill by $20 because there's a few other things we got rid of too that we just didn't need. So we're saving $20 off of that, so that helps. But I wanted to do another way of getting cable. Well, unfortunately, this is free cable. So I bought an antenna. And this, like I said, this is going to be an experiment. I've seen it on YouTube, and, you know, they say it works. So I bought I think it was a $25 or a $26 antenna off of eBay, plus some cabling and stuff. And they say that you can reuse, like if you've had DirecTV or Dish Network in the past, your house is already pre-wired then, unless you've ripped it all out, which I've never ripped out any of mine. I've just always left it. So apparently what DirecTV and Dish Network use for cabling is the same as what an antenna would use if you wanted to pick up over-the-air TV. So, yeah. So, it basically says that you can reuse what they've already have. So what I'm going to do in spring, of course I got to get a ladder. I need a better ladder. So that's going to cost me some money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the dish. I'm going to reuse the mount and then the cabling that's there. And then mount the antenna to that. They said it should fit, because every antenna is a little bit different. It looked like it would fit to me, but it doesn't really matter if it doesn't fit because it'll come with its own mount anyway. So if I don't use the mount, that's fine. I could use it for something else in the future. Like if I wanted to put a CB radio here in the shop, then I have a mount to mount my antenna to. So, but yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to mount an antenna on top of the roof, and then reuse Dish or DirecTV's wiring. They said that you can just reuse all that, and if you already have the splitter and everything there, it says that you can split it to, you know, to however many TVs you have. Which for us, we have a total of 3 TVs, but one we're not using. It's only there for like severe weather type stuff, where it's a sacrifice TV. Whereas if we're watching the weather and we have dangerous storms with tons of bad lightning, and we don't want to blow out our flat screen TVs because they're more expensive, we have my old big clumsy Sony TV. That's in my mom's room. That's our sacrifice TV. So we'll just disconnect all the other TVs and then we'll just use that one. So if the house does get struck by lightning or something, then it won't blow out the other TVs. It'll just blow out the old Sony. So, but yeah, that's how that's gonna work. But the house is already pre-wired, like I said. So what I'm going to do is I bought a wire off of eBay as well, another one of those coax wires or whatever they call them. It's a 20-foot piece, and I'm going to run that from the wall, you know, that's behind my TV, because I'm not going to use my main TV. I'm going to run that to my second TV that I have that my old computer's hooked up to, and that's going to be the test TV and whatnot to see if it'll work. And I imagine this will work because if my little redneck antenna works, I imagine this will do a lot better. Now the antenna that I bought, they claim will go 200 miles, but the only way I can see you getting 200 miles out of it is you'd have to be at least 30 feet up or more from your top of your roof. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna get that far. It'd be nice if I could get 200 miles. That'd be nice, because then I could get down into the cities and pick up all their channels too, because they have more channels than we do here. So, we're basically, well, we're a little over the limit from what the city says, because you can go on that website and you can see what the radius path is for how far their towers are punching out, and we're, I think, about 20 minutes far out of range. We're 20 minutes further away from their red line part. So if they would punch out another few miles, we would be within range, but we're just barely making it. So we're not making it at all. We're borderline. We're right there. So unfortunately, I don't think we'll make it unless you went up 30 or 40 or 50, even 50 feet. To get that kind of range. Even then, I don't think you would get that far. I don't know. It's just, you know, it's just going to be an experiment type thing. But this is not well, it's going to be permanent for now. But if I really wanted to get crazy with it, I'll probably find like a 5-foot or a 10-foot tripod, mount that to my roof, get like a 20-foot pipe, and then put a rotor on it so you can rotate the antenna. And then, you know, you'd be up pretty high then. So then I imagine you'd probably you probably could make it down to the cities. The cities are only like, well, from what the Google Maps says anyway, if you take the quickest route, they say about 78 miles from here to our nearest city. Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard to really get, to figure out what you can do. Now, they make antennas that go over, a lot of antennas say that they can go 65 plus miles, and of course, all the ones under that too, but there's always some that go more than that. But I imagine the only way you're going to get that kind of range, if you even do get that kind of range, they may just be saying that, just so you'll buy it, but if it really went out 200 miles, like I said, I imagine you'd have to be up at least 50 feet, So, I don't know. But it's just going to be this is just going to be something to try, to see what we get out of it. And if things did hit the fan, with the power, with the company, at least, we would have something to watch in the meantime. Because there's been times that, we've just lost signal with them, so I don't know if they're just fixing stuff or it's because of bad weather out their way or what, but sometimes we lose signal with them for a little bit, and even though it's wired all the way, but I don't know. For what it sounds like, it's kind of hard to understand because I don't know. I think it's mostly with their, I don't know if it's with just their internet or if it's with the cable too, but I think they're switching, they're going to be switching over to basically, I guess, wireless setup. But like I said, I can't remember if that was for the internet or the cable or both. I don't remember. So basically, I suppose they're going to put up towers and then everything will be wireless. Well, then you ran all this fucking wiring for nothing because they went through the bullshit of putting these boxes in the ground over here, you know, of course, taking up space in my yard, and then trenching in my yard. So, I don't know. If everything is going to be wireless, which is probably not the best idea, but maybe it's okay too, they better be willing to remove all their shit from my yard and do. Because I ain't going to want it. I barely want it now. It's just another damn thing I have to go around, you know? It's stupid. So, I don't know. We'll see what they do there, though, but if things hit the fan, I would like to at least have some kind of a backup, you know, so we have some form of entertainment, I guess. And the whole house would be wired for it, because they said, you know, as long as you have the, you know, a splitter, which we have a 3-way splitter, then your whole entire house will already receive the antenna. You just have to run the wiring from the plug on the wall into the back of your TV. So, you know, it is what it is. So, but yeah, I don't think, the way we're going to be set it up now, I don't think we're going to make it to the cities. Too many trees and stuff will interfere with it, so, like I said, I imagine if you could truly get the 200 miles out of it, you would have to be, you know, 50 feet or more up, so, which, don't plan on doing that anytime soon, unless I have a shit ton of cash to waste, and I have a 50-foot tower put in my yard. Which wouldn't be a bad idea either, but I don't know. I ain't gonna worry about it. It's just so we have at least something here, you know. Plus, it's just a little bit of an experiment, you know. I want something to kind of do. Yeah, I know I gotta work on the 1586. I still got work to do to that fucking thing, too. But I'm kind of just focusing on kind of the house a little bit. Because I don't know what's going to happen with farming, because, you know, it costs us money to buy hay, so more money than what we have early. So if we don't get better hay next year, I don't know what we're going to do. So, and yes, I'm still putting money aside for the snowblower. So hopefully I put a little bit away this month, and then on payday I should be able to put a little something away too. It's still going to be a long time before I can get a blower, because again, it depends what blower I'm getting with. If I go with the Troy-Bilt, I could have that here probably by next winter. If I go with the Honda, which I would like to because it's convenient, because they're close, the dealer, but you're talking, you know, $3,500. When all said, I don't know, that probably doesn't even include any fees and tax, so might as well say $3,600 by the time you're done. So, but if you guys save with that kind of money, it could be another year before I get it. So, but that's why I'm trying to take advantage of this year and trying to start putting money aside, because they were saying a good winter this year. So, I was thinking, well, now's the time to kind of start, and then hopefully by next winter I'll have something here. So, this next winter could be a disaster, you know, and I want to have some here that can help take the load off of Big Red and ease the stress level that I have when I have to blade a lot of snow. I wasn't stressed about this stuff though, because it wasn't that bad, but when you get the wet shit, it's stressful, because you got to worry about what's going to break, and you got to ram the shit because you can't move it. So, I don't know. It is what it is, right? So, But anyways, just also wanted to say a Merry Christmas to everybody, and especially to my trolls. Snow fucking blowing in here. Get the hell out of here. Nobody wants you. So, I guess Christmas is coming up pretty quick here, and yeah. So, that's what's going on there. Christmas. But yeah, I didn't get any blading videos, just plowing snow. I didn't think it was really necessary. I think everybody's already seen it, so. But yeah, I guess if you guys want to see a snow plowing video, I mean, by the time you guys see this video, I would have already plowed all this, but I guess if you guys want to see a snow plowing video, then I guess whenever next time we get snow, then I can videotape it. But I'll leave that up to you guys to decide if you want to see a snow plowing video or not this year. If not, I don't care. I'm leaving it up to you guys. So, but yeah, so anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. I'm going to go do some other things. So yeah. But anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.